I would like to talk about the sati, the present moment, how we should develop the attention on the present moment, right attention. So, according to the Lord Buddha's teachings, so the first thing, we should have the desire to practice the right thing. So the practice right mindfulness in the present moment. So how this desire arises within us? So if you are motivated, if you are inspired to do something, so then your desire arises to practice in different kind of things in your life. So that's how we always motivated to do things in our life. So you were inspired to do something. So sometimes whatever thing you learn, whatever thing you hear from the society or the people who are associating with you, or your teachers, your parents, how you were inspired to do things. So then the desire arises in your mind. So you are inspired to do something. So do things. So then you focus your attention on those things and you train your mind to do those things, or train your mind to behave in such ways. So in the same way, you should, to abandon the suffering related to this five sense world, or the suffering associated with the life. So Lord Buddha inspired people to see this world in the right way. So then you are naturally this inclination or the intentions arise within you to practice the right thing. So inspire to practice the right mindfulness, right mentality, the way of thinking, way of seeing. You have to practice the right thing. So without practicing, without training your mind to do the right thing, you never achieve the even temporarily abandoning the suffering, or you don't understand how to let go of the suffering, how to release your mind from suffering. The suffering is a part of your existence because this unhappiness, day-to-day life, you see the unhappiness arise. Some things are agreeable, some things are not agreeable. Some of the bodily feelings, pains, agreeable, some are not agreeable, not make you happy. And all sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touches have this difference. Some are agreeable, some are not agreeable. So whatever thing you hear may not agreeable sometimes. Some are agreeable. Some are make you happy, some are make you unhappy. It is a part of the existence. It is a part of the life. When you live as a human, so you are experiencing sight, sound, smells, taste, touches through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. So it is a part of the existence. So that's why Lord Buddha encouraged to understand this natural phenomena, this way of your senses are working. You have to understand in the right way. So then you relate to your experiences in the right way. So then you were inspired to use the right knowledges related to your senses. So then you can easily let go things. You are always kind to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And in the same time, you are kind to all sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and thoughts come to your mind. So that means this internal faculties and external faculties, internal world and external world. You are always kind. So all the living beings you are associating with, they are the people who make sight, sound, smells, taste, touches. Sometimes the inanimate objects create sight, sound, smells, taste, touches. So all these external world, then you relate to your external world in a kind, soft, gentle mind. For having this one, you have to cultivate, you have to practice the right mentality, right mindfulness. So it is a part of the practice. So it is come first. First thing, you should train to use the right view, right way of seeing things in the right way. So that means the knowledge of Four Noble Truths and the knowledge about this reality. That is the major characteristics of this reality, this impermanence, relate to all sights, sounds, smells, taste, and touches. And impermanence related to eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This is not only impermanence, uncertainty relate to this external world. That means the sight, sound, smells, taste, and touches. And thoughts. These are all external. So the impermanence, uncertainty relate to this external world. In the same time, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, these are the internal faculties. The impermanence relate to these things, and uncertainty relate to these internal faculties also we have to keep in mind. It is uncertain, it is changing, not under your control. It is all these external and internal phenomena is a natural flow of happening things. The causes and conditions drives these internal phenomena and external phenomena. So it is a part of this world. So when you have this understanding within yourself, so you know these things they happen based on causes and conditions. So the external world is not under your control, but internal world, if you are mindful, you can let go things. You can avoid unwholesome mentality, unskillful mentality. You can let go. If you train your mind to do it, so then you build up that skill within yourself to let go things. So this skill or this attention, at least the attention to the objects, arise within you if you practice that attention again and again and again. So for practicing that right attention, you should have the desire at the beginning. So this desire arises when you listen to Dhamma and pay attention to the Dhamma and see the truth within this Dhamma. So all this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind is impermanent. And all external phenomena, that means the sight, sound, smell, taste, touches, and thoughts are also impermanent. So you see, this is true, this is correct. So, but we forget this one all the time. So then we train ourselves to use it again and again. Or we have to use this knowledge. Then we can mindfully let go things. We can maintain kindness, softness, gentleness towards the all experiences and let go things. So that is how we train our mind to do the right thing. So first thing, you should have the desire to practice. And next thing, you have to maintain mindfulness, maintain the right attention all the time. So we have to practice in that way. You have to inspire us to do the right thing all the time. So then for doing the right thing all the time, so you have to have the right, you have to maintain, train your mind and maintain the right attention in the present moment. So let go things. Be kind, be soft, be gentle. You can do it when you have the right attention to the objects. If you take all your experiences, sight, sound, smell, taste, touches, are impermanent and not under I, me, myself control. It is a natural phenomena. Then your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, also natural phenomena. But once you train it correctly, that means when you are inspired to do the right thing, so those intentions, those are become causes and conditions to arise your mindfulness, arise your attention. If you practice the right attention all the time, then it becomes your karma, the past, the training. So it supports your mind most of the time. And when you are practicing it again and again and again and again, so it becomes solidified. It becomes a vehicle to your mind. So that's what Lord Buddha says, Asevitaya, Bhavitaya, Bahuli Kataya, Yani Kataya, Vattu Kataya, Anuttitaya, Parichitaya, Susamaradhaya. So in Pali, Lord Buddha explained like this. So you have to practice again and again. So then it will become a vehicle to your mind. That means it like a vehicle you are using in your day-to-day life. So when you want, you just use it because you possess the vehicle. So you have that vehicle. So then if you don't have a vehicle, so then you have to find out the vehicle. You have to obtain a vehicle or possess. So buy a vehicle. So in the same way, when you practice the right thing, it becomes a vehicle to you. So the mind automatically use it, and then you see this world in the right way. So when you have the right attention, then automatically you are able to let go things. You are kind, soft, and gentle to all your experiences. It naturally arises within you. So then you are experiencing the right verbal behaviors, right bodily behaviors, because your mind always in the right with the right attention and right intentions. Because when you have the right attention, then you have right intentions. When you have right intentions, then you see the wrong verbal behaviors when arose in your the body. That means when you are falling into the wrong verbal behaviors, you quickly abandon, you avoid, and you ask forgiveness if you fall into those things, and you just determine to let go, to cut off that kind of verbal actions, and you cultivate the right verbal actions. So gradually you purify. When you practice the right attention, then you practice the right mentality. That means the right intentions. Then you practice then you cultivate the right verbal behaviors and abandon the wrong verbal behaviors, and develop the right bodily behaviors and abandon the wrong verbal behaviors. This is gradually growing when you're practicing the right mentality, right attention, and right intentions. So it is step-by-step process. But first thing is you should have the desire to do the right thing at the beginning. If anyone say, "Oh, this is theory, these things can't practice," so if a person think at the beginning in that way, they never undertake this practice, practice the right attention. So first thing, you have to practice the right attention. So yoniso manasikara. So in Pali, so right attention comes from the right view. So these things come step by step, and then you develop these things. Then you see you get the right verbal behaviors, bodily behaviors, and that based on the right mental behaviors. So these things actually make you happy and contented. When you reflect back in your day, what you have done in this day, so then you are happy. You haven't done anything wrong. That means any wrong verbal behaviors, bodily behaviors didn't arise. You are contented. You are happy. Your mentality was good. So you are contented at the end of the day. So that happiness is one of the most supportive cause to let go everything and make your mind, bring to your mind to much more deeper still states and practice the higher spiritual states of mind. So let the things be that the higher spiritual states, at least when you practice this kind of things if you are inspired to do this practicing the right attention and then right mentality and verbal behaviors and bodily behaviors, it makes you happy and it is beneficial for your day-to-day life, and it is beneficial to develop the higher states of mind. So this is just in brief I am telling. So important thing is to having the desire to maintain right attention and right mental behavior. That means the sati samprajanya. So the sati means the attention associated with the right understanding about the nature and clear comprehension, keep the comprehension in the present moment, associate with the right attention, the attention which is supported by the understanding that all our experiences are impermanent, subject to change, and these are a natural phenomena. So then you have to cultivate the good causes. That means you practice the right thing, build up the intention to have that always associate with the right attention, to practice the right attention. So that become your karma, that become your the closely practiced thing. So it become a cause to give up the right attention and give arise the right attention within yourself, and it give arise the right mindfulness in the present moment, which leads to the skillful verbal actions, bodily actions. So that is called give arise the right mental action. So it leads to the verbal actions and bodily actions and right behaviors. So it is a flow of happening things. So I will read a sutta, just a simple sutta, how Lord Buddha explained these things in simple way. So if you have any questions, you can ask. First I will read this sutta. This is Attadipa Sutta. Samyukta Nikaya Kandavagga Samyutta Kanda Samyutta Mula Pannasa Attadipa Vagga. So in simple way, linked discourses 22.43. Linked discourses 22.43. Be your own island. So this is Ajahn Sujato's translation. Okay, Attadipa, be your own island. That is the Ajahn Sujato translated it. So I will read this one. At Savatthi, mendicants, be your own island, your own refuge, with no other refuge. Let the teaching be your island and your refuge, with no other refuge. When you live like this, you should examine the cause. From what are sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, distress born and produce? I will read it again. When you live like this, you should examine the cause. From what are sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, distress born and produced? And mendicants, from what are sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress born and produced? It is when an unlearned, ordinary person has not seen the noble ones and is neither skilled nor trained in the teaching of noble ones. They have not seen good persons and are neither skilled nor trained in the teaching of the good persons. First thing, they regard form as self. Self as having form. Form in self, or self in form. But that form of theirs decays and perishes, which give rise to sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. Second thing, they regard feeling as self. Self as having feeling. Feeling in self, or self in feeling. But that feeling of theirs decays and perishes, which gives rise to sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. They regard perception as self. This is the third one. They regard perception as self. Self as having perception. Perception in self, and or perception in or self in perception. But that perception of theirs decays and perishes, which gives rise to sorrow, lamentation, pain, and sadness, and distress. Fourth one, they regard choices or volitions as self. Self as having choices. Choices in self, or self in choices. But that choices of theirs decays and perishes, which gives rise to sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. The fifth one, they regard consciousness as self. Self as having consciousness. Consciousness in self, or self in consciousness. But that consciousness of theirs decays and perishes, which give rise to sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress are given up when you understand the impermanence of form, itself perishing, fading away, and cessation. And you truly see, with the right understanding, that all form, whether past or present, is impermanent, suffering, and perishable. When these things are given up, there is no anxiety. Without anxiety, you live happily. A mendicant who lives happily is said to be extinguished in that respect, or at least in that issue. This is in Pali term is tadanga nibbutto. You can extinguish suffering in that respect. So, the second thing, sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress are given up when you understand the impermanence of feeling. It's perishing, fading away, and cessation. And you truly see, with the right understanding, all feeling, whether past or present, is impermanent, suffering, and perishable. When these things are given up, there are no anxiety. Without anxiety, you live happily. A mendicant who lives happily is said to be extinguished in that respect. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress are given up when you understand the impermanence of perception. It is perishing, fading away, and cessation. And you truly see with right understanding that all perception, whether past or present, is impermanent, suffering, and perishable. When these things are given up, there is no anxiety. Without anxiety, you live happily. A mendicant who lives happily is said to be extinguished in that respect. Only that respect. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress are given up when you understand the impermanence of choices, volitions. It is perishing, fading away, and cessation. And you truly see with right understanding that all choices, whether past or present, is impermanent, suffering, and perishable. When these things are given up, there is no anxiety. Without anxiety, you live happily. A mendicant who lives happily is said to be extinguished in that respect. The last one. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress are given up when you understand the impermanence of consciousness. It is perishing, fading away, and cessation. And you truly see with right understanding that all consciousnesses, whether past or present, is impermanent, suffering, and perishable. When these things are given up, there is no anxiety. Without anxiety, you live happily. A mendicant who lives happily is said to be extinguished in that respect, in that issue. That is Tadanga Nibbuto. So that is the sutta. So then you have to understand, when you have that understanding, these are impermanent stuff. You can cut off and let go, yeah? Free your mind in that respect. So that is called Tadanga Nibbuto. So the higher level of the Nibbuto is the higher level for that one is Vikambana Nibbuto. So one, you can release your mind from all your the five senses, and then your five senses are stopped, and your mind go to the jhana realms. That is called Vikambana Nibbuto. Vikambana means the supporting faculties are disappear. So then you release from those faculties, and then your mind in mind realm, and no more suffering arise through five senses. That is Vikambana. This is Tadanga. That means this each and every sensory the inputs come and create suffering. You just cut off and let go and free your mind. You let go one by one. So, but you see, it is coming back when these senses are working, because it is related to the senses. It is related to the behavior of senses. It is a part of the system. But you know how to let go things and release your mind without falling into deep the unpleasure. That's why Lord Buddha say, when you're practicing like this, you know how to free your mind from suffering temporarily and one by one. That is called, you know how to abandon the abhijja domanasa, the strong greed and unhappiness. You know how to let go unhappiness and strong greed. These two associate with all the time. Abhijja domanasa. Abhijja domanasa always arises because the wrong view. That is miccha ditti. These are the first, how the mentality getting to the better states, coming to the better stage, you know how to cut off and let go and free your mind. And then you know how to practice the right verbal actions and bodily actions. So these things are helpful when you are practicing the higher states of mind. That means the Vikkambanani Bhutto, how to release your mind from the five sense world and practice the jhana realms. That is the higher states of mind. So then you know to cut off the whole five sense world. If you are practicing these perceptions, letting go the five senses, letting go the feelings, perceptions, and volitions arise in your mind. All forms, feelings, perceptions, and volitions are impermanent, are subject to change. So then you cut off and let go and release your mind. When you practice these things in your day-to-day life, it is easy for you to practice the higher states of mind. When you have the free time, you cut off the whole five senses. You know the five senses. When you are associated with five senses, all feelings, perceptions are flowing in. So when you cut off the whole five senses and let go the five senses, then you release from the five senses and you develop only attention to the mind realm. You keep attention on mind realm. You don't pay attention to the five senses. So then you develop the release from five senses. So then you develop a different state of mind. Only mind pay attention to mind, and mind enjoy the mind objects, no, not paying attention to the five senses. You are released from the five sense world, the karma world. So that's all the ending of kama chanda. Kama chanda is the desire to the sensory world, desire to the five sense world. Sensory world means eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, body world. All mentality associate with the five sense world. You just train your mind to cut off and let go and enjoy the mental mind realm. So then you directly experience the release from five sense world. When you are experiencing the release from five sense world, you experience how we release from suffering. Because for a human, all suffering arises through the five sense world objects. Your unhappiness, all the suffering, always related to the five sense world for a human. So that's why when you release from the five senses, you see how we release from the suffering. When we abandon that's why the Tadangani, the Vikkambanani Bhutto. So that means your supporting factors are released at that time. Supporting factors are disappear at that time. What are what they are supporting? Supporting to the suffering. So these things we have to understand. You have to think and understand. So then, first you have to see how suffering arises within yourself. That's what Lord Buddha said in this sutta. So, when you live like this, mendicants, be your own island, your own refuge, with no other refuge. Let the teaching be your island and your refuge, with no other refuge. When you live like this, you should examine the cause. From what are sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress born and produce? So then, a sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress are given up when you understand the impermanence of form. So just you understand, just you think, reflect wisely, and let go. When you see these are impermanent, because when you reflect your past, you can clearly see. Or when you pay attention on these things, the impermanent is always associated with sight, sound, smells, taste, and touches. Not only that, your eye also impermanent. The ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind also impermanent. You see these things. You can clearly, when you pay attention, you clearly see these things. Then you are inspired to let go all the things arise through these impermanent stuff. You know all the products also impermanent. You can let go. Feelings, forms, feelings, perceptions, volitions, and consciousnesses, all related to these senses, are impermanent. So you can let go. So you can release yourself. So if you have any questions, then you can ask now. Okay.
Just to clarify, so you spoke about right attention, right? And right intention comes after that.
Yeah.
Right speech and that sort of thing. Okay. I just get a bit confused because I hear right concentration and right effort. Are those different names for the translations for the same, for attention and for intention?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Right concentration, actually concentration, sometimes, you can use that right concentration, but you should have the right attention first, because concentration otherwise give a wrong meanings. You try to force.
I'm talking about the Eightfold Path.
Yes. Right. Concentration is not the right thing. If you take up the right, if you talk about the right, Noble Eightfold Path, right concentration is the last thing. I think right concentration is not the right word. So it is right stillness, right the stillness of the mind, or right. The concentration word may have the wrong roots of understanding. So that's why right view is the first one you should understand. This right view gives the right attention. And right attention leads to arise the right intentions. You know? So the right, I am talking about the first 2-3 factors, not the last factors of the Eightfold Path. Because last factors, you can achieve those last factors. That's what I told about the development of mind to the higher states. So that is come from this right view and right intentions. Right view and right intentions are crucial. If you don't have these things, it is difficult to develop the right stillness or the right concentration. Right concentration is not the best word. It gives a wrong approach to whatever thing you get. It is not you are forcefully concentrate and focus attention. It is something letting go, free your mind. It is a part of liberation. You are experiencing the liberation of mind at that moment. You are not forced and put in one place. It is, these words sometimes people use in the wrong way. So that's why you have to understand the right view is come first. When you have the right view, from the beginning, you are liberating, you are letting go. You are not trying to control things. You are just let the things be, and you divert your attention from the objects. You are not paying more attention and try to control things. You just let go things. Free your mind, liberate your mind. That kind of sense, that kind of attitude you develop when you are practicing the right view. Because these are impermanent stuff. These are non-self. These are not under my control. So then how I am going to control means you are creating more doings. Because according to Buddha's teachings, you have to achieve the Nirodha. For achieving Nirodha, first thing is Sankhara Samatha. Sankhara Samatha is the calming down your intentions. Calming down all doings. Stop doings. So that is come at the beginning. For the stop doings come from right view. Because Doings come from delusion. If you are using the right view, you are associating with non-delusion. You are practicing non-delusion. When you are practicing non-delusion, you calming down all doings. You stop doings. So then let the things calm. Let the things be quiet. Let the things be. Your mind, attention is diverting from doings. It divert to something different. Attention goes to the stillness, not for doing. Just enjoy the stillness. Just enjoy the non-doing. It is totally different thing. It is not forcing and putting in things in one place. So that's why it is important to practice the right view first. These are impermanent stuff. These are not under I, me, myself. I, me, myself come from delusion. So you have to practice these perceptions first and use in your day-to-day life. Then your mind get kind, soft, and gentle. So then it is easy to practice the right thing, practice the right verbal actions, bodily actions, livelihood, all these things then you have become happy and contented person. This happiness and contentment is the most supportive factors for let your mind still. Cut off the attention to the five sense world. Because you know the five sense world always have choices and leads to suffering. You just cut off all doings related to five senses and just bring mind to the stillness. Cutting off the five senses is, for a human, all doings are based on five sense world objects. Once you cut off the attention to the five sense world, your mind naturally becomes still and contented. Why? You have no intentions related to the mind world, stillness. All your work are always related to the five sense world. Because you are a human. That is the most important thing, because the humans have all work related to five senses. Once you cut off the attachment or the actions related to five senses, then you become still. So that's why you have to understand, it is not you are forcing, just letting go, cut off, and free your mind.
Okay, so concentration not so much as going after something, but letting go and having a spacious mind.
Yes.
That goes with the right view. And okay, and just one quick. And you talk about letting go of things, like and seeing mental arisings probably as impermanent, and seeing their cessation and their rise and fall, and that's sort of a way of the method of practicing whatever we can to of letting go to get to that sort of right attention. Okay.
Always kind to your experiences. Always, whatever thing arises within you, you have to be kind. External phenomena and internal phenomena. Your condition of your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, you have to be kind. It is a natural phenomena. Whatever objects come through eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind is external phenomena. Be kind to all these things. Because all these things are natural flow of happening things. No one is controlling. Causes and conditions drive the situation. So that's why only thing you can have the little bit control is your mind. Because if you have the right desires, then you can develop the right intentions, and so you can control your mind to a small amount. But this control also comes by the inspiration arise in your mind. This inspiration comes because the attention has gone to something. So that's why you inspire to practice like this. It is also a flow of happening things. It is also, anyway, fortunately, your attention went to listen to Dhamma. And then these intentions arise to let go and let your mind to be peace and calm. So when these intentions arise, then mind naturally go in that direction. Then you are practicing. That's why Lord Buddha say, sometimes some other intentions arise, some other interests arise, because you have your past karma, a lot of past karma. So that's why you have to always arouse the desire to practice the right thing. Because the distraction of mind can happen very easily, because you have a lot of your past experience and karma. So when you leave this hall and go to the road, all your past karma start working and your attention go to many different other things, whatever thing you learn or practiced early. So that's why you have to have the desire to practice the right thing again and again and again. So you have to maintain that. Chanda samadhi padana iddipadam bhaviti. This is the Pali terms you can see in. That means you have to maintain the stillness of your intention, stillness of your desire in one thing. That means not let it scattered in many different desires. If it is scattered among many desires, then you lose the desire to the right practice. So you have to maintain, you have to keep the balance in your day-to-day life, because when you live as a layman, so you have to do your job, you have to live in your house, you have to deal with the people who associate with you, you have to keep the balance. And as much as you have to practice the right thing. It is a step-by-step process.
Thank you, Bhante. We do have a question from the online audience.
Yes.
Please advise how to address anxiety according to the Lord Buddha's teachings.
Yes. Yeah, now actually this sutta also talk about anxiety, because you are anxious when you think you want these things. You have the choices regarding your future. So you are afraid those things will change, not come. These things may not last, can change. So because you are not accepting the reality around us, this I, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind are impermanent. These are not permanent fixed things. So it is not only your I, ear, nose, tongue, body. It is common for all living beings, all natural phenomena. Not only for you. This impermanence is common for all. All external phenomena, the sight, sound, smells, taste, touches, and thoughts are external phenomena. All these things also impermanent. So it is a part of the nature. So no need to worry. So that should not be a problem, because it is the nature. Once you accept that reality, you build up the ability to let go things, not to harbor the intention or the desires in the experiences. Whatever thing you experience now, whatever thing you possess now, whatever knowledge you possess now, also impermanent. Sometimes you learn something and you're skillful in some knowledges. But after some time, the new knowledges arise and nullify the value of these knowledges. Currently you possess and gain and learn and you take in. After some times, they say, these are wrong. These are not worthy, not valuable. They throw away things and build up new stuff. So all these, even the knowledges are impermanent sometimes. So you have to understand all these possessions are impermanent. So it is a part of the world. It is a part of the nature. So then you should not keep high hopes in future. Just enjoy the present moment. Let go things and use things for your living, day-to-day life. Enjoy whatever thing you have now. That is called yatalabha santutti. Whatever thing you get, you can be happy if you are contented. Whatever thing you get, you think about something else, whatever thing you don't have now, then it leads to suffering, because your craving lies on something you don't have. So you can't enjoy the thing you have now within your hand, in front of you. So that's why Lord Buddha said, always the delusion create the problem. Depression and anxiety arise because delusion. Your mind is practicing delusion, using delusion in your day-to-day life. So that's why if you practice to use right attention in the present moment, you can avoid all this the anxiety, depression, this kind of stuff. That is in Pali terms, abhijja domanassa. you can avoid. This is an unskillful mentality. So that unskillful mentality grows and develops to these mental problems, this anxiety and depression. Okay.
This sutta actually is not concentrating on the 5 sense bases.
Yeah.
It is on the 5 Panchupadanaskandha, 5 aggregates of arising. So Buddha starts by saying that uninstructed beings, that is the beings that consider the world as this and that, or self and other, inside and outside. In reality, in the supramundane world, there's no duality. But those who live in this world, the conditioned world, Buddha says, uninstructed, consider this as self. So, and he says, this operation itself is suffering. So he's only saying, this all take each 5 aggregates, form, feelings, perception, mind formation, consciousness, each one, and he says, very simple message. Practice mindfulness. Consider it as impermanent. Just simple message. Consider it as impermanent and let go. Those are the only 2 things he says. In supramundane state, impermanence is not change, it is not there. It's not there, okay? That's what it is. So Buddha's message is for the uninstructed beings like us, who lives in the world, thinking that we are separate, other and us, all is in the conscious state of mind. And this is a very simple message. It is impermanent, it's not there. He says not impermanent, and let go. It solves the problem, no suffering. That's the message in the sutta.
Yeah. It is how to liberate your mind in different levels. Yes, that is correct. So you can liberate your mind. That's why Lord Buddha is teaching these things based on the people who are listening, who have listen to the people, to the Arya. Arya means the people who gain the practice to the higher states. So that's why Lord Buddha say, once you listen to them, then you come to the right practice. Otherwise, you are practicing the wrong thing. Otherwise, you are vulnerable to suffering in many other ways. So you are taking the world in the wrong way. That's why it is important to listen to Dhamma and practice Dhamma correctly. So you can listen Dhamma in the correct way. So then you are not going to separate, this is the worldly practice, this is the supramundane practice. You start practice from the worldly level, because as a human, you can start from that level. And you develop the path up to the supramundane level. So there is no 2 paths called the worldly path and supramundane path. That is a wrong explanation of Buddhism, because only one sutta have that kind of the teaching. But nowhere Lord Buddha differentiate the path into mundane and supramundane. So only one place. So that's why it is important to understand these things. May be the 2,500 year the transmission may make distortions. Let it be. We have to read and understand the majority suttas, how Lord Buddha explained this path. He doesn't differentiate, this is mundane and this is supramundane. He says the path. But it starts from the mundane level. That is true. So that's why this first you experience the tadangappahana, the tadanganibbuto. You first experience that one. That means the one aspect by one aspect. You release your mind and you experience the release from your mind. So that experience leads to the supramundane levels, the last part of the path. That means you release from the whole sensory world, then you go to the supramundane level. So it is the same path at the beginning and the end. So once you experience this, the Tadanga Nibbutto, that means one aspect by one aspect, you experience the release of your mind, so you are inspired to let go the whole thing and whole sensory world. You inspired to do it. So then you put an effort. That's why the Vayama Sati Samadhi, that means the right effort, right mindfulness, and right stillness come at the end of the path. So, because then you put the effort and bring your mind to the supramundane level. That is the jhana level. There is no two paths. This is only one path. So Lord Buddha never explained as two paths. Only one sutta. The people who study these suttas extensively, so they clearly say this one may be a later addition or later interpretation added to this one.
This might sound, Bhante, a little bit from left field, but in Christianity, I've come from that tradition, particularly the earlier forms. I mean, I can't speak about some of the 20th, 21st century versions. Humility is a really, really important quality, and a lot is made of it. And I notice it's mentioned in the Metta Sutta, for example. And I just wondered, having come from that background, how important do you think humility is in the development of the Buddhist path? Thank you.
Yeah, that is true. The meaning of humility doesn't come to my mind. My English not very good. Make humble. Yes. Yeah. Then it is easy. Yes. Sorry. So then it is very important, because if a person develop the right view, this humility automatically come to them. They are become humble, because we don't have a control on these things. This is a natural phenomena. According to the Christian basis also, the same thing happened, because you are not the authority. God is the authority. So that's why I am telling, if a person misunderstands Buddhism, it is much more dangerous than Christianity. That's why they make more foolish things. They do a lot of foolish things when they misunderstand Buddhism. They think, oh, we have to protect the Buddhism, then they kill others and do all foolish things. Because they take it as I, me, myself. It is under my control. I have to do something. So they don't think that these things belongs to God, or these things are natural phenomena. They think I am the authority. I must do something. That is come from delusion. So that's why it is much more dangerous when people misunderstand Buddhism. If they don't have the root understandings, they are much more dangerous than the Christians and the other religious people. But other religious people also misunderstand their religions. That is also part of the system. They also they fall into a lot of wrong actions, because they don't go to the roots of their religion. If they use the roots, so they are become very good people, kinds of gentle to the whole world. So the humility is a much, according to the Buddhism also, it should be a part of your life.
Thank you, Bhante. We do have one more online question. Okay. I'm practicing Satipatthana Vipassana Mahasi Sayadaw technique. I worry a little if it's the right practice, since it's without samatha and the jhanas. Thank you.
Yeah, this Mahashi practices, if you don't go to that theoretical framework, but if you practice the sati is practicing is good. But if you think that when sati develop to higher states and your mind become calm, quiet and still, and go to the deep stillnesses, if you're afraid to those stillnesses, that is wrong. Lord Buddha always praised those stillnesses and experienced those stillnesses. Then it leads to the fruits of the path. Lord Buddha clearly say, don't afraid to the higher stillnesses. Even Buddha's time also people have that kind of criticisms. And some suttas clearly explain, you should, once you gain those higher level stillnesses, these stillnesses, when you experience, because you just experience depending on your practice, but you don't have craving to those things. You have craving to your five sense world existence. It is a part of the system. As a human, you are practicing meditation not because you are giving up the human life. You are just want to develop to higher states. You haven't given up your five sense world. You haven't given up your human life. So your attachment to the five sense world exists. So, but when you develop, you're cutting off the five sensory things and you have become calm and still, your mind naturally goes to those still state, niramisa sukha, according to Buddha's words. The five sense world sukha is amisa sukha. This is niramisa sukha. The mind attracted to the mental states, and it goes. Lord Buddha say, don't afraid. That is the one you have to experience. Then you clearly understand what is five sense world is. Then that is the reason, that is the mostly important cause to have develop the wisdom related to existence. Wisdom related to the exist as a five sense world living being. Because how five sense is suffering, how it leads to suffering. You can see when you come back to the five senses, how craving arises, why craving arises, how delusion in action. You can see, because when you go to those mental states, the delusion related to the five sense world is not exist there. But when you come back to the five sense world, come back to this from those states to five sense world, you see how delusion arises, and how delusion in action, and create craving, and it leads to suffering. So these things you can. That's why the samudaya dhammanupasya viharati, vaya dhammanupasya viharati. Lord Buddha say in Satipatthana Sutta. Because once you come back to Satipatthana, you clearly see how things arise and pass away. Because now you see the causes and conditions. That's why this sutta also say, you are focused to see the causes and conditions. You are not blaming to someone, or praising you, or this is my achievement, I know, or this is my foolishness. You don't blame to yourself. You see causes and conditions. You don't blame to the external world, or that is the fault of the external objects. You don't say that. You see the causes and conditions. Why suffering arises within us? Because delusion. Because taking impermanent stuff as permanent stuff. Taking the things not under your control as under your control. That is how the suffering arises within us. Not because the external phenomena, not because the internal phenomena. It is a part of the system. The deluded mind creates suffering. Then because you crave, and then you fall into suffering. It is a natural flow of happening things. Once you understand, you just cut off and let go. The mind can let go things. That is the important thing we have to understand in this life. Mind can let go and release it from suffering. Because mind, the delusion is the one creates suffering. This delusion is always entangled with the system. This always it is a part of the consciousness. So that's why when you understand this and practice correctly, then you develop that ability to cut off and let go and free your mind. So that's why you have to develop those states and go to those states. Then you clearly see how delusion creates suffering. That's why Lord Buddha say, when people attain those states and they practice these 7 bojjhangas, Lord Buddha say, they cut off the attachment to the 5 senses and they never reborn as a human again. They go beyond the human realm, the 5 senses. The human realm means the 5 sense realm. Because they have no craving to to the five sense world existence. That is a Kamaloka, Kamachanda has all fully given up. That is the Kamaraga, Patiga. That is the two fetters. The Kamaraga is the indulgence of mind in sensory world has gone, finished. So that's it is important to understand these things. Practices, the basic practices are okay, but the view sometimes goes wrong. The way they see their experience goes wrong. Because it is not based on the right view. That is the problem. But some of these practices are correct.
Thank you, Bhante. We don't have any more online questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante, for the Dhamma talk. Bhante, I watched a video, someone training a white horse.
Mm-hmm.
When he tried to train the white horse, he put his concentration on training the horse. Would it be correct if we say that he's in samadhi? And why is it called sama samadhi?
Yes. These things should have a samadhi, to a certain level of samadhi. Samadhi means you are focused on to one object. You know?
Yes.
It is not by releasing, it is but focusing to one object for doing. Even a person who learn a subject, children go to school, and if they want to do the higher studies and get the good marks, they have to focus their attention on the subject and understand. If the mind is scattered and diverse, go everywhere, so they can't learn the subject properly. In the same way, when a person is doing a job, so the training a horse, also they should have a certain level of the stillness of mind. And because they have to understand that animals' reactions, they have to maintain their mind in kinds of a gentle way to train the animal without making the animal upset. These horse trainers should have certain level of skill and understanding what they are doing. It is not just not bringing the animal to the butchery or the kill it. Then no need special kills. You can harm that animal any level. But if an animal trained to do something, so you have to be very kind and take the confidence to gain the confidence of the animal towards you. Then animal will friendly with you, and then it is ready to listen to you and follow your instructions. That means the relationship you have to build up. So they should have a good mindfulness. That's true. It is a part of their profession.
And how about sama samadhi?
Sama samadhi is totally different thing. These are all miccha samadhi. Sama samadhi leads to the liberation of mind. These are all miccha samadhi. Everywhere in the world. If people don't have miccha samadhi, these buildings not exist. You are not wearing these clothes if people don't have miccha samadhi. They have miccha samadhi. That's why this world like this, they develop, the whole world develop because miccha samadhi. That's why people go to moon and go to other worlds. The people travel by the sky, the airplanes and all these stuff because miccha samadhi. Not samma samadhi. Samma samadhi never leads to do more things. Samma samadhi leads to the liberation. Let go the false five sense world. See the suffering of existence. It leads to the seeing the suffering of existence. So whatsoever existence, people, so then they see it leads to suffering, because all this internal, external phenomena is impermanent, and all change based on causes and conditions. Causes and conditions are not under our control. It is the Utuniyama, Bijaniyama, Kammaniyama, Dhammaniyama, Chittaniyama. There are the five, the reasons or the flow of happening things in this world. So it is a part of the system. It is a part of the world. These are not under our control. That's why the craving arises related to all this sensory world leads to suffering. But these senses have feelings. Once you have senses, you have feelings. We have wantings. It is a part of the system. So that's why Lord Buddha say, understand this, son. Just cut off and let go. Liberate yourself. It is a different thing. Samma Samadhi is totally different to the Miccha Samadhi. Everywhere in the world, Miccha Samadhi. And they gain knowledges, wisdoms, and so on. These are impermanent. You know, now the early scientists, the discoveries are now, no one is using. They discard, and now they have new discoveries, new knowledges. For simple example, now people want to discard the petrol engines, diesel engines, these kind of engines. Now the people want to develop the motor-driven vehicles and machinery, everything run by electricity. Why? They think, oh, this is using this fossil fuel is dangerous. It destroys the whole environment, and it will destroy the living beings or humanity in this world. So then they want to change. So now this kind of things, all these things are changing to different states, and the values go up and down. So that's why this is all impermanent. So that's why Lord Buddha say, all your consciousnesses leads to suffering, because the craving is a part of the consciousness. It is always related to your sensory world. When you exist in any world, it leads to suffering.
So there is a different kind of samadhi.
Yeah. It is a different kind of samadhi. That samadhi leads to the letting go and release. That means the extinguishment of this sight, sound, smell, taste, touches at the beginning, and later all the feelings and perceptions also let go and liberate from all these things. That is Samma Samadhi. It leads to the wisdom, to letting go and release. It focuses to the different direction.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, finish? Okay, then, is there any questions? No. Okay, now pay respect to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and finish. Okay. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivade Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namassa Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namah